What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday Night Class vs. Crass Gaming Podcast. I'm your host. Hey, Jan, I forgot to call you all your beautiful people, so I'm sorry for that for tonight. But joining us, we've got the beautiful one, RGT85.
Sup, bitches?
God damn, you're scary tonight.
That's fine.
I don't like it. There's too much hair.
It's just gonna get longer. I don't think I'm ever gonna cut it. Just like ever. Like I don't give a fuck.
Like you're gonna let it go down your butt?
Sure, why not? I'm not here to impress anyone. You know.
We all know that. That's for sure. We definitely know that. And joining us, we've got a special guest tonight. We've got Jake Ganz.
Ganz.
Man.
You literally just asked him how to say his fucking name.
I'm one of those people that asks your name and then I'll forget right away. And literally that's what happened. And as I came to say, I'm like, shit, I'm gonna get called out.
No worries. Good to be here.
Well, thanks for joining us, Jake. So for those who don't know, Jake is the founder, CEO of Studio Yotta. Is that pronounced correctly? Is it inspired by, like, I always think of the Japanese cheer?
More or less. It's kind of like, it's sort of a mix of that, but it's originally based on I guess it's like the unit prefix for the number septillion. So like how you have like giga, like mega, kilo and stuff. Yotta's the biggest one, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, but then I like that it also kind of sounded like the cheer. So I was like, yeah, I like that. It sounds cool.
Yeah. I say go stick with the cheer. That's what resonates with me. And for those who don't know, Studio Yotta is a animation studio that does various animation projects in video games and outside of video games. To name a few, some of my favorites, they've done the opening cinematic in Sonic Mania. They've done some animation work for Brawlhalla, and they've done my personal favorite, which is a animation of Shovel Knight for Rivals of Aether. Which is that how you say Aether or Ether?
I pronounce it Ether, but I'm probably wrong.
Okay. Ether, whatever. So we're going to get into that later as we get into our guest spotlight. Oh, another thing that they've done is you guys worked on Rick and Morty, didn't you? Like
yeah, the Run the Jewels music video and the Bushland Adventures short.
Okay. So if anybody is familiar with those, yeah, we've got the founder of that studio, and we're going to hear all about his story. But first, before we get into that, we've got to structure the show. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, this is how it breaks down. First of all, we get into what are we snacking on. We share what's around us, what's in our drinks, what's in our cups, what we're snacking on. Then we get into what have we been playing. Pretty much if we've had time to play games over the past week or whatever we've been playing recently, we're going to be sharing our experience with that. Probably going to get into quite a few new games that have released in the past week. Then we're going to get into our guest spotlight, where we're going to look into Studio Yotta, what they do, why they do it, how they do it, and maybe we can find out some new exclusive info. I don't know. It's all going to be unfolded here in a few minutes. And then we're going to get into some headlines, although I don't think there's too many for tonight. So if you guys have anything you want us to talk about, please let us know. And then we're going to wrap it all up with the lightning round. That's about the last 15 minutes of the show, where you toss up all your questions, all your topics. Hopefully you've got a ton for Jake here, because he will, he's a limited time guest appearance here on the show. And that's going to be our show for tonight. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right.
Hell yeah.
You snacking on anything, Sean?
I ate a chicken parmesan frozen meal at like 7.
Cool.
I slept in today, man. Like I took some not NyQuil. I took the sleep aid liquid that I have. It always makes me feel fucking groggy. But it was like 3 a.m. and I couldn't sleep, and I didn't fall asleep till like 4:30, and then I woke up at 12 and like it was like and I went back to sleep till 3. So it's been a very stupid day.
You say sleep in, but you usually wake up just before the show, so I don't even know what sleep in is for you.
Well, that's usually a nap, but I've kind of cut out taking naps just because I've been sleeping like so late recently. Like 2 is when I wake up.
Yeah. Well, at least you don't have the bags under your eyes, so I guess something's working.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Over in my end, I'm not snacking on anything, but actually, that's a lie. I've discovered these things for my kid. It's like Justice League cookies, and they're very delicious, and there's quite a few in a bag, so it's quite satisfying. And pairing that up with a hot chocolate in the Clash vs. Cast mug.
Double chocolate.
Double chocolate.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've been in. Oh man, I discovered this new place in town that has gourmet donuts. So you can get like Kit Kat donuts, s'mores donuts, all sorts of donuts. Unfortunately, it was closed when I found out about it. But and it's closed tomorrow. But Tuesday morning, I am raiding that place and getting a dozen of gourmet donuts, and things are gonna go down. Actually, you know what? Me speaking about it doesn't do it justice. Let me get you guys a picture of this stuff.
Get me a picture of it,
I
man.
want to see this. I want to see this.
It's all right. Let's do this. Okay, can I? Come on. All right, here we go. So it's a screenshot from Facebook, but make do. So if you look at this, you've got all sorts freaking amazing looking donuts. You got the pumpkin spice donuts, some triple chocolate, apple pie, Boston cream. That's not really special. You know what? Screw row 2. Those aren't special. Sprinkle? Come on, that's not special either. But at the bottom here is you have the Kit Kat, the maple walnut, cookies and cream. Like, look at just how... And on this picture, I don't know if you can grasp how big they are, but it's like as big as Sean's face.
These look really good.
Yeah. So I'm going to sugar overdose on that on Tuesday. Bright Cat? Yeah, Kit Kat donut. It just sounds delicious. Finally, a reason to go to Canada. Absolutely, Sonic.
How are their apple fritters?
Well, I haven't tried it yet, but it's probably going to be pretty good. There's some apple fritters here in one of our chains called, well, in Tim Hortons. They put some, what did they do with it? They put caramel in it. So, like, it's a caramel apple fritter, so it's freaking amazing. Tastes really good. Anyways, you snacking on anything, Jake?
So, I just drank half a bottle of tomato juice. And now I got a water, so I'm feeling pretty good. I had to eat something before the show, and I don't have any groceries. All I had was that, so that's what I ate.
Man, the one thing we all have in common, I don't think any of us have. Although I don't know, Sean's a homebody. He gets his stuff in order.
Nah, I ain't got no fucking grocery. I've been dragging my feet for like over a week to go to the grocery store. I've just been going to CvS. You can usually get like cereal and basic frozen meals and stuff there. So
I'm surprised
I might go tomorrow.
I haven't subscribed to one of those delivery services that just brings you your groceries.
Like, I've seen those, and I've seen like the shit where you can get the meals delivered, but it's expensive. I'm so like $7 a meal. It's like, fuck, I can get Uber Eats and get it cheaper than that, and get McDonald's, which is healthy.
Of course. All right, and now talking about the games we've been playing. Have you been playing games this past week?
Me?
Yeah, you.
It's kind of what I do. I kind of have to.
I guess. So.
Yes, I've played a lot of games this week. Starlink, of course, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. You don't need all of the extra stuff. You can use gravity canisters on the gravity, on the things where you're supposed to use the gravity beam. You can just use gravity canisters to solve the puzzles. So quit being a bitch. I see you crying on social media. You didn't pay everything. You don't. Like,
you do though, to get 100% completion on the mothership.
Oh yeah. But
that's what I'm complaining about.
I'll just do it as I go along. So I play a lot of Starlink. A lot of, is this the right case? Dark Souls Remastered.
Can I see the back of that?
Huh?
Can I see the back of the case? Look at that. 3/4 of it. Just boring text. Remember when back of cases were actually interesting to look at?
Yeah, but I mean, it's mostly just telling you stuff like online stuff, what controllers you can use. I actually really like this game. Dark Souls is a series I've never really gotten into because it's the Dark Souls of games. Everyone says they're hard as hell, but I mean, it's challenging. You die a lot, but I don't think it's like needlessly difficult. Like, like when I think of hard games, I think of games like Super Meat Boy and The End Is Nigh, like where those games are designed with difficulty in mind. Whereas this, it didn't really seem like, it just seemed like a more natural progression of difficulty. Like you can go to certain areas and you get your ass kicked. It's like, okay, I probably shouldn't go to this area. So I like this. I also played a game that was sort of like this, called Sinner Sacrifice for Redemption. It's basically Dark Souls with Fury mixed. So it's just all boss battles, pretty challenging. That game was fucking hard. And then I played a little Night Trap because I got the collector's edition in from Limited Run Games. It came with like a bunch of cool shit, like a Sega CD case, VHS, with all the like a movie of the game, like all the cutscenes and stuff like that. And I don't even like Night Trap. Like I think it sucks as a game. But for some reason I bought it just because I guess the significance of it. And then more Black Ops 4. Really good. I still think it's really good, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I feel like it's a good game. So
Look at this. In comparison to the back of your Dark Souls, look at this nice classic Sonic 3 game. All of it is interesting to look at.
yeah, but look how big the text and shit is. There's only
That's
4
okay.
pictures.
That's okay.
There's big text. You don't have a million different controllers. You don't have online stuff. Like I get what you're saying.
You got the 1 or 2 player right there, and look, even the style like fits the rest of it. Then you got
Like,
your little legal text down here.
I get what you're saying. Like I much prefer it, but it is what it is.
I guess back then there weren't really as many things to specify. It's just like game.
Yeah. Like now you have to specify how I can play this game, what the online stuff is. Warning for epilepsies. Why it's rated what it's rated, you know. Warning, cancer and reproduction harm. Wow, I didn't know that.
What did it say?
Wait, cancer harm from video game?
It says cancer and reproduction harm down here on the bottom.
Reproduction harm.
Yeah.
Dark Souls is so hard that you will not be able to have children after you play
Because
it.
you're gonna punch yourself in the nuts.
And there's a there's a website that you can go to as well, but it looks like CA is California. So
Wait, games. What like what's the actual? I want to look this up.
it says
Reproduction harm.
warning: cancer and reproductive harm.
Reproductive harm.
It's the website that's listed is p65warnings.ca.gov. So it's probably some California bullshit because that place is weird. Proposition 65. What is Proposition 65? Yeah, Proposition 65 requires businesses to provide warnings to Californians about significant exposures to chemicals that cause cancer, birth defects, and other reproductive harm.
Dark Souls.
Evidently, video games will.
Maybe
will
it's
do
the
that.
Switch cart. Just if you end up licking it.
Or if you eat it, and, it's like fuck.
Hmm.
California's a weird place.
Wow. Well, you see that? How many game cases have we looked at in our lives and only now have realized that warning was there? So again, it's pointless. It's useless. Nobody reads it.
Let me see if it's on Mario. Yeah, it's on Super Mario Party as well.
Yeah. Reproductive harm.
Cancer and reproductive harm.
Jake, do you have kids? If I may ask.
I do not have kids.
Oh.
I am but a boy.
I was gonna say. I was about to say. Well, I guess we are all victims of that. But then I remembered I have a kid. So
Yeah, idiot.
that joke doesn't work. Whoops.
I still appreciate it.
All right. Anything else you've been playing?
I still play the Street Fighter arcade thingy.
Little arcade thing.
Yeah, I play it a little while every day.
You got
Dick around with it.
Jason says Starlink doesn't say it causes cancer. Probably because it doesn't. Jake.
Proposition 65 is why Disneyland can't offer Magic Band tickets like at Walt Disney World.
Really? What? That's
And
weird.
dude, California is like the fucking weirdest place on earth. Like it's so weird.
I kind of agree. California's a pretty weird place.
Like it's fucking weird, dude.
What do you find weird about it specifically? I'm curious.
Just
I wanna see
like
the same stuff I find weird about it.
I just think the whole like Hollywood is a shithole. Like it's all just trying to fake clout and
Jake's
act
from
like
Hollywood, right?
Is it?
No, I actually don't know where Jake's from.
I mean
I actually live in Portland specifically, so I don't have to live in LA. So
yeah, like LA sucks. Like I don't know, it seems very fake and like people just seem to get like I don't know. It's just like it's so different than the rest of the United States. Like it seems like they're just this weird place on the other side. Like I know a bunch like fucking OJ lives in California. Like I know people who live there. Eric works there. But I don't know. It's just California has always just been weird as hell to me, and like things like this just sort of exemplify what I mean. Like I don't know, just kind of a weird place.
As an outsider looking in, California is probably the least weird thing of all of the United States from my perspective.
That's because you never come here and you don't understand.
Oh, I don't come. I go there. I go to Boston. I go to wherever, Philadelphia, LA.
Wow.
I go around the coasts.
Where do you live, Sean?
I live in Delaware.
Okay, cool. So you're East Coast.
Yeah, I'll never go West Coast. Like, I'm East Coast till I die.
I respect it.
He won't even go to Canada.
I'll go to Canada one day.
One day. Try to get him to EGLX. Guy wouldn't come. Jake,
I have to have passport shit.
you've been playing anything lately? What's on your game deck?
Pretty much I've kind of just been waiting until like around sort of late November because I'm gonna buy a Switch and then buy Smash immediately after, and also every other game that I've missed on the Switch. But until then, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to play every game I can on the SNES Classic so that I can like kind of catch up on like the stuff I've missed, just the classic, like, I don't know, because I was born in the N64 generation. I didn't have a SNES as a kid, so I missed out on a lot of good shit.
You're a lot younger than I thought.
I am 24. I just turned 24 earlier this year.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a small man.
So many questions about the studio you founded and the story. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. So you're going through the sorry, I can't bring myself to call it a SNES, the SNES collection.
No worries. Yeah, so I've been playing I really liked Castlevania. I really liked Super Mario World. I really liked really liked Mega Man X, which I'd played before but never properly beaten.
Mm-hmm.
And also I'm just playing a lot of Smash Bros. Melee lately, like until Ultimate comes out, pretty much.
Some good choice. Would you say like was there a console that you focused more on, or were you like on PC?
I feel like so as a kid I was kind of weird with games. I didn't really ever ask for stuff unless it was something I already knew that I wanted. So for me to like get a game, I had to be like dead set on it. And as a result, I only played shit like Pokemon and like really like just stuff that was like given to me by people like as a gift. Like I got a Sonic game as a gift. I got a Metal Gear game as a gift. So I feel like my gaming like childhood was kind of spotty until I started playing PC games, and then I had like a ton of those just because on Steam you just kind of end up with a lot, and like it's like I guess I would say I'm more of a PC gamer, but I'm really excited for the Switch, honestly. I'm excited to get a new Nintendo console.
It's interesting. So Sean and I were both early adopters of the Switch, day one buys, but like for someone who's entering the market at this point, what's your perspective of the Switch? Like when you're going to go pick it up, you have so many bundle options. You can get all these different designs on your Switch. You have a huge library of games. Like what's your perspective of the Switch?
It's a good question. I'm going to say, I think, I'm really excited about how much potential it has with indie games, because I really feel like I need to play some indie games. I'm trying to make games, but I'm kind of like on a hiatus from it at the moment, kind of like focusing on some other stuff, focusing on work. But indie games I feel like are the most kind of exciting like thing to motivate someone to make games, because you look at indie games and you're like, okay, that's someone else who's like not so distantly removed from me doing it and making it. And so I'm really excited for the prospect of the Switch being kind of an indie game and just indie like device, and just seeing what I can get on that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just really excited about Smash. I think it's really amazing that we're finally going to have a Smash that's that accessible. I mean, people are like, when I go to LA, for example, go back to LA, I have to arrange a situation where there's a Wii U present in like someone's house, and most people don't have Wii U's. Usually like one person or like maybe three people in every like friend group will have a Wii U, and so it's really hard to get Smash. But with Ultimate, I mean, everyone's gonna have a Switch, and at least someone's gonna have one in a group. So
oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be way more accessible than the last one. I'm guessing you've never played it on the 3DS though.
I did, but once I switched to Wii U, I like couldn't go back.
Yeah,
just being able to play with a GameCube controller.
For sure. Controls, and also I don't know if the graphics were ever a problem for you, but like 3DS for me was just, it died a year or two for me.
Yeah, I couldn't after a certain point.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're right with the Switch being a really good indie platform, and the best thing is a lot of the bad ones, I would say, get filtered out. Like the Switch seems to be Like all the best indie games that you could.
No, there's
pretty
still
much,
shit.
There's still shit, but it's not like Wii U level. The Wii U was literally like floodgates are open, everybody come on board, whereas the Switch has a little bit more filters in place, and you're getting a lot of re-releases of all of the best indie games that were good in the past 5 years, and you're getting the complete packages. Like you're getting Guacamelee coming back, games like that, Hollow Knight. You're getting like the best of the best that are all coming on the Switch. You just got to weed through the sketchy stuff, and Sean can help you with that. If you go to RGT85, you can subscribe now and get all the best indie game highlights.
You're not wrong, because I actually had a funny conversation with someone on the Facebook page. They messaged me and they were like, why do you always praise games that you get for free? And this was literally the day after I said do not buy NBA 2K Playgrounds 2, which I got for free as a review game. And I was like, I literally just made a video about a game that I received as a review saying do not buy it. They're like, well, before that, I was like, Agony, MX versus ATV Unleashed. Like,
those don't count. Those don't count.
There's tons of games, and like it ended up coming down to he didn't like my South Park review for the Switch. He thought it sucked, which I did. I don't know, whenever that game came out, so like months ago. Just a very, very strange conversation. It's like I tend to get games that I'm interested in, so there's a higher chance that I probably will like it, because there's so many freaking games out there that I can't. I'm one person. I can't review all of them. I wanted to show my cool deluxe Night Trap.
Damn. What did it come with?
So it came with a bunch of cool shit.
Live unboxing right here.
No, I actually did an unboxing on the channel yesterday. Thanks for being a subscriber.
Live re-boxing.
Here's probably the coolest thing. It's a recut Night Trap VHS done into a 48-minute movie.
It's an actual VHS?
Yeah, it's an actual VHS.
I wonder how they got that made in 2018.
And then they did a custom Sega CD case for the game. Of course, the game itself. A steelbook where you can put the card in there.
This is a really nice pack.
And then a poster, which I'm not going to open. Yeah, it was like $70, but I don't know. I don't like the game, but I love the history of the game and how it's never going to come to a Nintendo system. Howard Lincoln. And then it came to a Nintendo system, so I had to buy it.
There's...
Plus the goodies are cool.
I want to step back and comment on what you just said, how you got called out for someone saying, well, you're... what is it? You always bash... You don't bash games you get for free is what they were saying.
Yeah.
Which prompted Gadget Mike in the chat to say, reviewers tend to accept games that they want to play, so basically they're more than likely enjoy those games. Which brings about a very interesting topic, and maybe we should save this for a whole other episode. I was just noticing, like, on my social media, of course I follow a lot of reviewers, and the days when they get their stuff, before embargo, some agencies will send the game, or like, for example, with Starlink, I was seeing a lot of people receive Starlink and they are gushing over the game. And this is not just Starlink, any game that they get, you'll get some that are gushing and they're holding it up and they're super excited and they're just showing the game before embargo. And I'm just thinking, like, in what other medium is this acceptable for a critic that's reviewing a product? A critic usually approaches any product they review as, well, I've received this product, now let's break it down and dissect it. But I feel the gaming industry is specifically tailored for fans to be reviewing the product, which skews the whole system and the whole model and makes it kind of obsolete.
Not really. I mean, you have to be a fan of movies to review movies. You have to be a fan of music to review music. People get to go see movies early. Movie critics get to go see movies early. Like, I don't know. I paid $80 or $75 for Starlink, and I fucking loved it. Like, it was a Star Fox game through and through. I paid $40 for Dark Souls. I really liked it.
Yeah, but I'm not hating on you. I'm saying, like, you probably see this too in your feed, right? All these people, like...
I try to avoid Twitter nowadays.
Oh, that's why you don't.
Good choice.
Like, I don't know if you see this too, Jay. Like, am I just... am I completely off target here, or do you guys see it too?
You mean specifically like, oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You go.
I was gonna say, you mean specifically like video game reviewers kind of specifically picking things that they're gonna like to kind of like.
Kind of picking, but usually a reviewer, any AAA game they get, they'll end up reviewing. But the fact that they are very much excited, like they built their life around reviewing games because they love games, and when they get it, it's not a they're going to be biased right off the bat, like not just a little biased, extremely biased.
I think you need to specify what you're talking about, though. Are you talking about individuals that are sole proprietors of their own thing, or are you talking about large companies? Because those are two completely different things. A company like IGN has a lot more manpower than I do. You know, it's literally me. So I have to sort of pick and choose, you know, what games I'm going to talk about or what games I'm going to review. So I tend to think of games that I will at least be interested in, or maybe something a little bit like Sinner Sacrifice for Redemption is not a game that I would normally review, but I liked the way it looked and I thought it would make for an interesting video. Sometimes I factor that in. Like I bought all of those shitty weird eShop games, the ones where you are talking to a Japanese girl on the phone and everything is in Japanese, and then I bought the animated puzzle game and the Senran Kagura game just so I can make a video on them and talk about, you know, how weird they are. So I think it sort of depends on if you're talking about an individual or a company.
I kind of see it in both camps, and you know the way you're doing it is fair, because I see how you pick your content. It's a lot based around your audience and your viewership and what you're interested in and what you think your audience is interested in. That's kind of how you go about picking your stuff. And to be fair, I would say most, you know, sole proprietors and businesses kind of do that. But it's really, when it comes down to the major releases, like, you know, all the games we're super excited about early in the year that are announced at E3, like you can pretty much tell what are the big hype games, right? And when those start coming into the reviewers' hands, it's very hard to say like, well, this is actually being looked at objectively, because it's like a 10-year-old kid getting what they wanted for Christmas early, and you're asking them, well, what do you think about it? And it's how does that basically the review becomes, how does that live up to their hype?
I mean, I think that's fair, but I also think it kind of depends on what you're talking about, a business or a sole proprietor.
Anyways, we'll save it for another episode. I think we were supposed to. I don't know if we did do a full episode dedicated to the review industry, the state of reviews in the gaming industry. But I know we wanted to do it if we haven't already. Either ways, we should redo it. But before we get into our guest highlight, I did want to talk about Starlink, which is the game I've been playing for the past 2 days. Picked it up yesterday. This is pretty much the Star Fox game that, you know, I was hoping Nintendo would have done with an open world concept. Starlink nails it in the open world department, but it falls short of being great. It's a good game, but it's not great. It just doesn't have enough depth to it, I find.
I disagree. How far are you?
I've made it to the point where, without spoilers, I have to start repelling the invasion from planets to set up these gates so that I can get to the evil base, which
you defeated the Dreadnought?
Yes, I've defeated a few of them already.
I love the Dreadnoughts. I the game. I think if you strip away the Star Fox stuff, it's a decent game. But the Star Fox integration is so damn good and so seamless in both the main story and the side story that happens. Like, I don't know. Like, are you playing as other characters like Captain Whitebread and stuff?
No, I'm only playing Captain Whitebread. I'm only playing as Star Fox. I'm playing the whole Star Fox thing, which leads me to my next point, that the only reason people are talking about Starlink, they're not saying it's a great game or it's a good game. They're saying this is the game Star Fox should have been. It's being compared to previous Star Fox entries, and when you look at it that way, it's completely different. If you look at it as just Starlink, it's still a good game, but it could be so much more. Like, I feel like this is just the first layer of something good, and if they would have had like another year or two, they could have made it as deep and extensive as a game like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but there's no. If it was a Switch exclusive, yes, but you have to factor in that it was a multi-plat release.
Yeah,
and it's really a game that's designed towards a younger demographic.
That's fair. That's fair.
With the Toys to Life stuff.
But even with that said, like, I was thinking, like, like I was having some difficulties at the beginning because there's so much going on. Like you got to watch your cooldowns of your weapons. You got to remember which button your weapon is mapped to. I feel, I don't know, that would be a little overwhelming for a younger player, like 10 and under. I think that
No, you just throw the toy on there.
Yeah, but even if you throw it, like actually knowing what button to push to like make them to hit, and like why aren't I firing anymore? Oh, I gotta wait for the cooldown. And
did you suck at games as a kid or something?
No, don't think so.
You couldn't have figured that out as a kid?
I don't know. I'm just saying it's a good game. It could have been better, and I feel we're doing it a disservice by not pointing out the potential it's missing out on. Because I want another game, I want a sequel to this that takes it to the next level. It's great. It's a great foundation to start off of.
It's a new IP.
Right. And the game concept is great.
So, I mean,
I'm encouraging it. I'm saying it has a lot of potential and it needs to grow into the next level.
Okay.
That's all. Yeah, it's a great game. If you haven't picked it up, I recommend getting it. All right, so Jake, let's get into your story of, actually, before we get into your story, let's show some of your work first. For those who aren't familiar, let's get started with the one that I think most people in this chat would be familiar with. This is the opening animation to Sonic Mania. That was such a great intro. And we'll show one more, which is actually the whole reason I connected with Jake, which is the Shovel Knight animation in Rivals of Aether.
I think this one's actually technically our most recent thing that we put out too, so that's cool.
Oh, cool.
Maybe second most recent actually, but still pretty new.
We're gonna watch this gameplay bit because I really like the animation at the end of it too.
I like this song.
Yeah, it's so good. I love the combos too. Like, I really want to play this game. Like, he's got so many different attacks. It's crazy. Here we go. I love this one right here. So there is a glimpse of what Studio Yotta is doing. So Jake, get us started with why an animation studio? What prompted you to open that up?
So I guess I would say it was just the thing I was doing at the time. I wanted to I want to do a lot of things, but I was kind of, I guess I was just like really into animation at the time when I was kind of starting to be at that age where it was like, all right, time to figure out what you're doing with your life. Are you gonna go to college? Um, and I just kind of like was doing some freelance work just kind of on the side and trying to practice it and stuff and watching a lot of videos like animation compilations and stuff. And I was just kind of really obsessed with it at the time, so it just kind of turned into something in and of itself.
So was this before? Sorry, was this before college? You were saying, or after college?
This was just before college, yeah. It was sort of, I guess I did Yotta in like my skip year, where I was kind of like between high school and college, I'd say.
Oh, you actually founded it before even starting college.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. So at that time, was it just like what kind of work were you doing? Was it just kind of a freelance role, where it was just you doing animation work, or did you start off right away with building a team?
So it started off really, really light. I just made a Newgrounds post on yeah, on Newgrounds, basically just saying like, hey, if anybody wants free like in betweens or like color work, like I'll do your grunt work for you for free just because I want practice. And people took me up on it. So I had a few people who took me up on that, and then I'd start to kind of slowly like as the demand raised, I'd try to raise the rate. And then eventually it got to the point where I wasn't enough to do it because stuff was coming in relatively consistently a bit, or at least we got one job that seemed like it was going to be more consistent. And so yeah, I ended up bringing in a couple friends, and then it sort of slowly kind of grew from there, pretty much. And eventually, it kind of became. I guess by the time we started to do our Starbomb stuff, that was when it was starting to become like a team.
And how big of a team was it at that point?
At the time, it was like 15, I think, ish people. Like I'd say probably around Smash, the Smash video we did. That was like the whole of all the people who are like who encompassed Yada pretty much at the time, I'd say. So that was like 20, I guess 15, 20 people, I think.
What Smash video?
The we did a Smash a video for, let's see, it was for Starbomb, and we did a bunch of videos for them, but we did it's like a parody video of Smash Bros. Have you
Does it have a
I could,
cover
like,
of Luigi and Samus
yes.
on it?
Yeah, that should be it.
How safe is this video?
I think it's pretty. I mean, I guess it technically is. I think it is technically copywritten music, but I mean, I don't know if it's like.
Well, like I
I
said,
don't know if it's
this
that kind of copyright.
yeah, this stream isn't monetized anyways. Can we take a look at it real quick? I don't
Yeah,
think I was
absolutely.
familiar with this.
For sure.
Oh, let's get this quality
It
up
was
a
a
bit.
beautiful day, and everyone was excited.
Nice.
There was a picnic, and the whole Nintendo crew was
So this is kind of your
Luigi stood up and said, "Listen, everyone, I
your
love
breakthrough
Nintendo,
project.
my best friends in the world. You
I'd say our Zelda one we did with them was kind of like our breakthrough one, but this is the one where I guess I started to feel like, okay, Yada's going places. And by this point, I guess I just finished my first year of college, and this was in the middle of my second, or I guess third semester. And this was the point where I was like, all right, things are going well. I should probably leave school and focus on this, because at this point I did see this starting to kind of pick up and
Wow.
become something.
What was your? Hang on, this is catchy. Was it your team that made the music too, or it's all just here's a track, make the animation?
No, this is Starbomb. So this is a project of it's Eager Raptor and Danny Sexbang and Brian, who are the Game Grumps guys.
Mm-hmm.
So this is their music side project with kind of like comedy song, game parody style type music, basically.
Oh, okay. This is pretty good. We're not going to play all of it because it's almost 4 minutes, but if anyone wants to check this out after, it's Starbomb. If you just look up Smash Starbomb, you'll find it. So this kind of, what were you? So many questions. What were you?
No worries.
What were you using to animate this? Like, what was your software of choice to get into this? Because
Flash.
this was all done in Flash,
Yeah.
and most of it was self-taught.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. All just
Flash is we actually still use Flash for everything, but it's kind of cool to go back and look at that, because I can like see I guess how flashy it looked back then, like Flash like it looked compared to I would say it looks less like it was done in Flash now, which is it's cool. I'm happy to see that kind of change.
Yeah, like I'm still remembering all of these Newground videos and games. When back in the days of before YouTube, when Newgrounds was king. It's probably before your time, but before we had YouTube, yeah, we had eBalm's World and Newgrounds, and everything was running in Flash. It was have a very iconic look.
Newgrounds was my home.
Yeah. So you're not even out of school yet. You've got a team. You've got a successful business ramping up. Where do you go from there?
So it was actually funny because I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, like because I was definitely at a point where I couldn't do school and focus on Yotta at the same time. So it was a good choice to leave, but it didn't really pick up truly until later that summer. But I did have the assurance of enough work lined up for the year, like through the Starbomb stuff, because we had a contract with Starbomb at the time to do 3 more videos with them, which we ended up doing until the end of that year. So we did have some stuff going, and there was I guess enough going on at the time to where I was like, all right, I can focus on this, but it didn't really pick up, and I kind of just like stumbled around and was really like not effective until later that year when we got approached by Cartoon Network for the first time to do like an industry job, because they'd seen our Starbomb stuff that we've been putting out through the year.
Oh wow! And at this time, were you still like really hands-on it? And are you still hands-on in the animation, or do you take more of a like business operation managerial role?
So I pretty much only do animation direction work these days. I haven't animated on a Yotta project since, let's see, it was earlier this year on May, and I did something, and that's not out yet. So I guess there's still stuff coming out that I've kind of put my own like drawings into. But yeah, these days I try to intentionally not get too involved into animating it myself. One, because I just feel like I there are people who can do it better than I can. I'd rather give that to them. But also I just it becomes a lot to manage, and the pressure, like I don't know, it's just better for the project if I just kind of focus on running it and making sure it goes smoothly. And yeah, I get too in my head about it.
For sure. One piece of advice I've been given that from a manager that meant a lot to me at one point. He said, if you have a burning house, it's very tempting to grab a hose and try to put out the fire yourself. But sometimes it's better to take a step back, look at the whole picture, and actually direct people to grab this hose, shoot the water here, to make sure the whole fire gets put out. So
absolutely,
that was a great way to put management into perspective.
I'd fully agree with that. Yeah, I think that every time I've ever had a deadline that seemed really daunting, just kind of the point where it started to really turn around for me was always just like getting Notepad out or getting Google Docs out, I guess, and just like listing everything that needed to still be done, and then starting to just assign things out to people one at a time until like there was just an order of priorities that was just like I could cross out and things were good to go.
Mm-hmm. So this project that, you're what now, first, second year in college, and you have Cartoon Network pretty much knocking on your door.
Yeah.
So what project was that?
So that was the OKKO videos. We did just one for them at that point, which I think was, I guess that was like our actually I don't remember what year it was exactly. I have to go back and look, but I should actually pull that up so I can link you to it real quick.
Oh, I've got it right here. The OK.
Oh, nice.
Cartoon Network OKKO.
Yeah, but it might. So basically, it was one short initially within a group of 3 shorts or 4 shorts. No, it was 3 shorts because it was one for each of the main characters, and there's 3 of those. But yeah, there's it was a short like released alongside another short by Science Saru, and then one by a studio called I think Rubber House. I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was it's the one called Rad in that case.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Sean, were you ever a fan of Like, I figure that you would be a Cartoon Network watcher.
Yeah, like I used to watch it. Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, and shit.
You
like
watched
that.
Space Ghost? You would.
Space Ghost was fucking hilarious, dude.
The talk show?
Yeah, we used to get high as shit when we were like 15 and 16 and just watch that shit, dude. It was fucking hilarious, man. So yeah, I like Space Ghost. I watched I didn't really watch too many of their Squidbillies. Squidbillies was the fucking shit.
Yeah.
That show is hilarious. Oh my god, I love Squidbillies. The Kenny Chesney episode. That I was literally I can still watch that episode. And I know exactly what's gonna happen. I'll still fucking cry at that. Like it's so good because I'm laughing so hard. Yeah, like I watched some of it. I haven't watched it much, which is weird because I actually have cable now, but I'm so used to not having cable that
Can't believe you have
I never really watch it. Like I just watch like wrestling and shit when it's on, and I get disappointed every week.
Huh. I don't know why. I watched Space Ghost 2 as a kid, but I remember I'm like, oh, this is so boring. Why am I watching this? But I'm like, it's a cartoon. I have to like it.
I didn't get it when I watched it as a kid because I was just kind of like, because I think it's sort of based on its like references pretty much, right? Like it's sort of like bringing on celebrities and then having them say really fucked up out of context shit pretty much. So like, yeah, I at the time I was just like, who is this man? Who is this celebrity?
Right. And it was always late, like it was late night, so it was definitely for a different audience, but
it's really good. It's a really good show.
Yeah.
I recommend highly.
I'll have to watch it. Maybe like as an adult now I would actually get it.
You got Canada now. You could get some weed, get you a little baggie, smoke it, watch that shit, dude. You'll be tripping. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Jason, congratulations by the way on weed becoming fully legal in your country.
Thanks. It doesn't mean much. Like we've got, you're going to be in Canada next week for EGLX, and like I can't even, like I don't know if you're into it or not, but you can't. It's not like I can even get you any or that you can get yourself any. You have to literally order it online. Like you have to plan for it. You can't just drive up to a store and be like, okay, I'm going to go get some weed. You have to order it online. There's only like one website, and then they're like canceling orders because there's a surplus demand right now. Go figure. So
wait, so there's not like recreational dispensaries set up yet? It's kind of like
yeah,
that's weird.
At least in Ontario, they don't have any brick and mortar store yet, but they're going to be coming out next spring in full force.
I believe it.
Yeah. So
You need to get in on that, dude. That's good money.
A brick and mortar store,
Yeah.
like I'd have to buy a license, and I don't want to deal with that. Like it's all government regulated and stuff, right?
Enthusiast Weed Productions.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the story of Studio Yotta. So we've got Cartoon Network now. So you finished that project, and what kind of like were you able to actually graduate college, or did your business just take off so fast that it was just a matter of having to pick one over the other?
Pretty much the latter. Yeah, I just got to a point where there was no point in going back. And I also, the other thing too is that my program that I went to school for was it was sort of a hybrid like 2D 3D program, and I was only ever really interested in 2D animation.
Cool.
And I did it because I was like, well, it'd be good to know the 3D. I mean, it just would be good to know. I do want to make games someday, and it's just a good skill to have. But 2D just kind of like ended up working out. So I actually made it. I planned my last semester so that all of my classes were just the like specialty classes that I wanted to take before I left, and then I ended up leaving. Yeah, I never ended up going back. But yeah, after our first short with Cartoon Network on OKKO, we ended up doing 2 sets of 2 more each. So we ended up getting 5 shorts for them total, and then Nickelodeon ended up a friend of ours, an old friend from way back in the Newgrounds days, was working with Nickelodeon and got in touch with us to work on a short, and kind of more things started to pop up that were like that, basically.
And so when you say you have a team and a studio, is it actually all located in one place, or do you work with remote workers where everybody kind of works out of their own home and wherever they are in the world?
It's predominantly remote right now. Where we do have a headquarters, and we do have people coming here very slowly, one at a time, and like people on the ground. But we're still trying to really build it so that it's like, I want to have like a separate, like a real proper studio building. Because right now, for me, like, it's pretty much just kind of the act of us all being here, and like, I live with two coworkers who are great. And I have more close by, so we'll get together and stuff. But it still is pretty online in how it's done. We don't usually use the the real life stuff, but that's the goal. That's what I want to get to. I want to be able to have a proper, even just like a small real life crew would be really great.
Yeah, you get a whole different dynamic when you're in the same room. Like
yeah,
the way you can generate new ideas. So then what's the story then with Sonic Mania? How did that come about, and were you a Sonic fan when, like, before even getting into Sonic?
Yeah. Wait. Do
or
you mean like before working on the
before working
video?
on something? Yeah.
Yeah, ever since it's actually funny. My first I guess my first Sonic game was I ended up getting like a free Game Gear with like I think just Sonic 2 from some guy at my dad's work who just had a Game Gear lying around. He's like, I'm not gonna play this anymore. So I got that, and then my brother gave me Sonic Adventure 2 completely coincidentally when I turned like 12. So I became like a Sonic Adventure kid. And I really liked Sonic Adventure, and then I kind of drifted away from it for a long time. And then I heard Mania was coming out and was excited about it and just only heard really good things. And then yeah, by coincidence, Tyson got in touch with us. Tyson Hess is the director, and he wanted to reach out to us to do some work on it. So we worked on that, and that was sweet and came out really good. And he was really great to work under. Really super skilled guy, really talented.
So did a
And
lot of that direction, because when I see the Sonic Mania intro, as I was a Sonic fan as a kid, like a hardcore one. I had the comic books, I watched all the TV shows. The Sonic Mania intro really hits that chord, that nostalgia chord. So was that kind of from your studio, or was that the direction you were getting to?
I would say that's definitely Tyson. I'd say that, I mean, because his Sonic drawings are so good, and he's very deeply like involved with the Sonic series as well. Like I know that he's done comic work for them, and like is just like very very good, with that IP. And so that, I mean, he was the mastermind behind it. And definitely like I would contribute. I would say that he played the biggest part when it comes to really capturing that true nostalgia. But we did our part, and we were the animation studio for it, and it was really cool to be along for that ride.
Mm-hmm. Would you say, out of all the projects, which one's the one you love the most, and which one's the one that gave you the biggest headache?
It's a good question. Let me think.
So
Let's see.
That stands
Well, the one I love the most, I'd say as far as just sheer like being really proud of it, I'd say the Rick and Morty video.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was kind of another like, that was another big situation that was I guess just sort of like came out of nowhere and was just like a really nice, it kind of created like a paradigm shift for us, like just really kind of kickstarted like our how much people knew about us, how much people knew about our animators. There were people who worked on that video with us and then went off like, pretty soon after to work on anime. And that's really cool to kind of see that kind of step. So I'd say as far as that goes, I'd say the Rick and Morty video we did is my favorite. Also just the sheer amount of obsession. It was really nice to just go all out on something and be really, really obsessed with it. Like I did this over Christmas break, most of it.
What?
Like not I did this like okay, sorry. I want to frame that statement a little bit better. I handled the animation direction for this, to be specific, over Christmas break and kind of through MagFest. So I was kind of like, I was with family and then visiting friends, then at a con, and through the whole experience, I was just kind of like really obsessed with this and just really, it needed to get done. So I just like me and Joel were just like working on this obsessively every day, and I don't know, those kind of experiences give you purpose, for it. It's like one of those kind of very like brief, nice things that you just kind of like, I don't know, you just have something to do and you're really fucking hyped about it. So that's what this is to me. But my true favorite is actually the Rick and Morty bootleg, the Bushland Adventures cartoon, because that was really fun. Just to be paid to animate a shit post, that was a very important experience to have. So, and if I could do it again, I would do it again.
And then on the flip side, was there a project that you really like couldn't wait till it was over because it just kept giving you problems, or for whatever reason things weren't working out? Or
that's a good question. I'm trying to think.
Without calling anyone out.
I would definitely say that we've had those kind of projects. I'd say that every project does hit a point where it's kind of like, even the best projects hit a point where they're kind of like, all right, we're done with this. Let's move on. Enough has been put into this. We need this to just kind of be over. And with animation, it can drag a long time, especially if there's notes. But I definitely say that the more note heavy projects are definitely I would say length is the factor that's the most daunting to me. I guess if I had to say, we once worked on a pilot that was like 8 minutes long, and we worked on another pilot at the time that was like 11, it was supposed to be 11 minutes long, but it didn't end up getting finished. So the pilot that we did work on, the 8-minute one, is our longest thing, and as a result, probably the hardest thing, because it's just like length. Every minute is just like it's so many shots. Like every minute adds like at least 20 shots to something typically. So where most of our projects had like, you know, I mean, even the Rick and Morty video, it's 3.5 minutes and it's like 80 shots or something. But like this was like 180 or something. So just like, I don't know, just that kind of difference, just having to do a lot of individual shots, coordinate them, make them work. And I was fresh out of college when I did that one, so I sucked. So that was that was probably like the trickiest one, just due to the sheer length.
And can you say what it is, or it's better?
Yeah, it was Obituary. It was a cartoon that we worked on with the Barity brothers, who are good dudes, awesome guys, and it was a fun project. Like we enjoyed it. Joel, my art director, got to handle a ton of design work because he kind of stepped in as the designer for the cartoon after once we kind of picked it up, basically. And yeah, we learned a lot through that project. Yeah, it was a good experience. I was very bad at it, and like the length, I definitely didn't manage the length as well as I should have. Like I let it go on a long time. I was very like, you know, I just like didn't get through it fast enough, and like just sheer length can be tough with animation.
It was definitely, it sounds like it was a learning experience for you.
I guess I wouldn't say that's like, even then I wouldn't call that like least favorite project though. I actually would say my least favorite project out of all my projects would be, there's one that I can't talk about, but it was the only project we ever did that wasn't released. Because we basically just like it was, you know, also early days after college. I made some mistakes early on, and like basically just like didn't have shit together management wise, and just wasn't as good about it. And basically like at the end of like once it came time to finally like turn it in, it just kind of like wasn't exactly what they wanted, and they wanted to go with something else. And, like it was like humiliating, kind of, you know, sad feelings, but you get over it, and like it all worked out in the end. And all, you know, you get better from those experiences. But
oh yeah, that sounds familiar. One of my early projects, when I was trying to open up my own studio, something very similar happened. I'll share that another time. I'm curious, Sean, if I've never actually asked you this, if you have a project that like is your holy grail, that you're like, this is my favorite one out of all the videos I've made.
No.
Just straight
I
across the
make
board.
too many. I mean, my videos aren't like, you know, masterpieces or anything like that. Like a lot of them are just news. A lot of them are reviews, and I don't.
What about that short film you made? Actually, that black and
Okay,
white.
I'll give you that. That was really cool. I like that. But I didn't edit that or anything. I just shot it and sent it to Jordan and
You
told
produced
him.
it. You got your vision. You woke up. I don't know what you were
Yeah.
smoking the night before, and you're like, I gotta make this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like. Never mind. I'm not gonna make fun of you on this one. It was a passion
Okay.
project.
It's good. It was good. People liked it.
It's on IMDb. I mean, it's legit.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that, I don't know, like my whole accumulation of work is my thing. Like I don't treat any video, because you never know what video is going to end up being popular. Like Black Ops 4. I did a Black Ops 4 review, Jason. How many views do you think that got?
I don't know.
On a channel that does mostly Nintendo and mostly retro shit.
I'm gonna say 40 to 50,000.
It got 100,000 views.
Wow.
And I don't fucking know why, because it's not like I do a lot of, you know, games like that. I just happened to get a review copy of it, and I played it, and I enjoyed it. And yeah, so you never know. You never know.
Well, I talked about, you know, my biggest video. I talked about Mario power-ups, and I got 3 million. Definitely not my favorite.
You're always going to hang your hat on that.
It's the only thing I got on you, all right? And it's not the one I'm proud of. Like, oh man, I'm so embarrassed of how I looked on camera that day. It was the one video that shouldn't have blown up that blew up. We got some questions though coming in for Jake, starting with Gadget Mike asking, so is Jake going to thinking of opening a game studio? Where did that inspiration thought come from?
It's a good question. So I would say yes. Ultimately I want to expand Yotta to be more than animation. Because right now, really, when it comes to animation work, most of our work is commercial, kind of like doing promotional or intro related stuff for different games, cartoons, things like that. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, not only do we really just want to make games, it's always just been something we've always wanted to do. And we just kind of want to try something that's, we want to try doing games. It just kind of seems like the direction we want to go in, but also it's just a more lucrative path, I think, to supplement. I mean, what we currently make, to be able to kind of have something that we can make, put a lot of heart into, hopefully sell, and then kind of have that coming in. It'd be a lot stronger for our business than our current model, which is, it's pretty much job to job.
Let's talk about the Class vs. Crass game off air after this and how we're gonna make it a 2D fighter. With, RGT85 and Hey J.
I already have my own game.
Make a better game.
It's a good game. It's a hack.
It's a hack. It's literally a hack.
Yeah, but it stays close to the source material. I wear purple. I smoke a cigarette. I throw my hat. There's Charlotte Hornets and Diet Dr. Pepper cans. And a skateboard. It's literally still me.
Mm-hmm. Needs longer hair now.
That's true. My hair was short in that version.
Yep. Next question from... Oh, Jake. I was like, wait, Jake answered it already. Does Jake like any anime? And if so, what are your anime of choice?
My anime is definitely number one all time Golden Boy, easily. Definitely best anime. No, I would actually say Golden Boy is in my top 5 though.
I've never
really
heard
good.
of it.
Oh man, I gotta show you Golden Boy then. It's a treat, especially the English dub. You gotta watch the English dub.
I don't do dubs.
Oh, but it's the best part. It's so it's so bad that it's like really good.
This looks like an old oldie. Oh, early 90s. Yeah, that makes sense.
It is, yeah. It's sort of like FLCL in the sense that it's like it's I think it's a greater story that's condensed down to 6 episodes. So as a result, I think they were able to kind of like get a spicier budget for it. I'm not sure if that's entirely true, but I know that's true of FLCL and both 6 episodes. I don't know. Kind of makes sense, but there's really, really good visuals in it, and it's just really funny. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. I feel like it's the anime that I most often show to people when I'm just like, I want to make a room of people laugh.
Golden Boy, sorry. That
Golden Boy.
Huh. I'm really surprised.
And also,
I never heard of it, but yeah.
Mob Psycho 100, FLCL, Gurren Lagann.
Also,
Those are some big ones.
I guess I'm mainstream trash. I stick to like my Dragon Ball and my Narutos.
Oh, absolutely. Dragon Ball is amazing. Naruto's good. He's good.
We've lost Sean on this.
I don't do anime.
I don't anime. I only do wrestling.
No, I mean it's not because I don't like it. It's just something I don't do.
He does Senran Kagura.
God, I felt so dirty playing that game.
I used to be more into like my obscure anime was more in the comedy stuff. Like 10 years ago, like I'd be into like Love Hina, School Rumble. I don't know if you've heard of those, but
yeah, definitely.
Wow, not most people haven't. So
did you like Azumanga Daioh at all?
No, I don't know what that is.
That one's another pretty funny one. There's I'm trying to think. Did you ever watch Nichijou?
Ichijo?
Nichijou?
No.
That's another funny one. I got a bunch of anime to send you.
Just send me a whole list because I've just finished Steins Gate. Like I'm just dipping my toe back into anime, and yeah, I finished Steins Gate. Attack on Titan just wrapped up for a few months, so I could use some new stuff.
Hell yeah! I definitely recommend. Oh man, actually, I'm just gonna bring a big anime recommendations list to EGLX next week.
Oh man, awesome!
I'll do it.
I'll have a lot more free time after next weekend, so.
Hell yeah.
Next question from RP Space G. Maybe this was answered, but which cartoon or artist inspired Jake the most?
It's a good question. Well, so I'd say definitely one of my first inspirations was my art director Joel, who's really great and has always been great. But as far as like, I mean, definitely I would say Alex Ahad was always a big one. The Skullgirls art director, the Hiroyuki Imaishi, the Kill la Kill Gurren Lagann director, and also like spirit of those shows in a lot of ways. And like, trying to think, I guess those are kind of fundamentally my favorites. And then a bunch of other like anime people, anime animators, and stuff like different cartoonists in the West as well.
Yeah, it's good to have some inspiration from both different styles.
Hell yeah.
Comment from the chat saying, I feel like Sean would love Dragon Ball. I agree.
We already talked about that.
Yeah, I know. You tried to watch 3 episodes and were very confused. I really recommend, though, Sean, you should watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged. It's faster, it's shorter, it's on YouTube, it's free, and it's funnier. Although I don't know if you can appreciate it if you don't understand the source material, though.
Maybe one day.
Have you watched it, Jake?
Dragon Ball? Yeah, definitely.
No, the abridged series.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Sorry.
Like Team 4-Star.
I've only watched a little bit of. Actually, weirdly enough, I've seen more Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, which is I think that's pretty uncommon. Most people have seen Dragon Ball Abridged more, but I missed a lot of it.
I tried to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, but I couldn't do it myself. I don't know. Wasn't as good in my opinion.
That's fair.
We've got. Does Jake have a favorite animation studios?
I would say probably right now between Science Saru and Studio Bones. Really, really like. I really like what Studio Bones has been doing on. I really like Mob Psycho 100 a lot, and Boku no Hero is also looking really good, more than I expected a long-running series to look. So that's really cool. And then Science Saru, I'll always like them a lot. They did a Devilman Crybaby and Ping Pong, and they're really sick. And also kind of, I don't know. I hear legends about them. I just hear like from people who are kind of loosely connected with that corner of the anime industry. Like, I don't know. It's just always cool to hear what they're up to and like kind of see them grow, I guess, over time. So really like Science Saru, really like Bones, and of course Studio Trigger.
All studios I know not of. So with all that, like, you're still at a point where it's safe to say it's pretty still early in your career. I feel like there's a lot of paths you can still take, your own work or your studio's work. So is there kind of a dream project or that you would like to get to in the next few years? Like, is there an IP that you would love to work with?
Well, so yeah, there's some stuff that me and my art director and also he's like my main like creative like homie, as far as just, I don't know, just like person to bounce ideas with, definitely my top pick, Joel, who's Yotta's art director. We want to do got some worlds that we want to make at some point, and some stuff we've been slowly building, but it's still super far off. And I'd say that the biggest barrier to cross when it comes to making that happen would be to have experience with games, actually having releases, because I feel like what we want to do is something that can't be really animation alone. It would have to be kind of like mixed, mostly in a game format, probably cutscene, animation heavy, but still kind of in that field more specifically. So there's kind of an industry transition that we have to sort of, not transition, but like expansion, I guess, that we have to sort of cross before we are anywhere close. But yeah, we really want to work on that someday.
Do you have what's the game genre you'd like to work on? Like
we really want to do platformers. We want to do rhythm games. They want to do RPGs. Those are kind of the main three things that we're most interested in. Like when I say platformers, mostly combat oriented platformers. Like
a 2D brawler?
Yeah, something like that, or kind of sort of like the like Hollow Knight type stuff. Castle Crashers. Yeah. More in that kind of that sort of.
You should do a 2D brawler rhythm game RPG.
Hell yeah,
Just
do it all.
Put it all together.
All in one, and because there's so many genres stacked together, people will like it. It will sell. It'll sell twice as well.
Or they'll hate it tremendously. It goes one way or the other. Surprised Sean didn't call me out for Kickbeat there.
It was in my mind. I was gonna let it slide.
Okay. Treyon's Realm asking, any possibility that the Rick and Morty team would bring Jake's team on to do some 3 to 5 minute shorts while fans wait for the full next season, since the music video looks so great?
if given the opportunity, hell yes, anytime. Currently we don't have anything in the works, but if I mean, I I love working with those guys, Justin, Mike, and the Rick and Morty guys, and overall the experience I'd say was pretty mutually great working on the Rick and Morty video, the music video. So yeah, if a chance to do that ever came up again, I'd happily be down to do that again. Same with Bushland Adventures too. The Australian bootleg shitpost. I don't know how else to describe it, but
How do you
it's-
find, like, is that available online? How do you find that?
oh yeah, definitely. Let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, sure. In the meantime, I typed it in the chat, but we are going to open the lightning round. You know, I haven't even been using my transition screens at all tonight. Completely forgot about them.
Link in the chat.
Did it actually let you drop a link? Usually it
Yeah, or in the YouTube chat.
yeah, usually YouTube doesn't let you.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry. I'll
you
send
send
you on
it-
Discord.
Yeah, if you send it to me, I can paste it.
There you go.
Oh man, this looks crazy.
This one's pretty long, but this is a really fun project.
So I'll also put it up on screen here for those who want to look at it. Just I love the artwork. Like I don't have any audio on right now, but just I love how it looks.
Kind of a departure from what we normally get to do, but it was really fun for that reason. Just kind of getting to draw really funny drawings and try to kind of match Michael's like style, and I don't know, it's just really fun.
So
Really
was
good-
this
good
again
experience.
like, was the direction like given to you guys here again, or did you have kind of the liberty to do it however you wanted to?
In this case, yeah, I would say this is another one that is definitely Michael masterminded this. You know, we came in and we helped out, and we did do a lot of it. But yeah, this is still Michael's child.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to watch this later. Oh, it's 11 minutes. I know if
Yeah.
my friend's really into Rick and Morty, so I'm gonna pass this off to him. Oh,
Nice.
This thing's weird. Cool. So yeah, so our lighting round is officially started. So if you have any topics, questions, comments on anything Sean, myself, or Jake have said tonight, please toss them up in the chat. If there's any topics we haven't covered in this past week's news, because we didn't cover any news, and you guys want to talk about it, please pass it up. Let us know what's on your mind. What do you want to hear from either of us? I picture RGT bathing in a tub full of cereal and milk. There should be
Sounds about right.
should be a
Sounds relaxing.
There should be a poster of that.
I mean, I had to have my bowl of cereal and bath after the show.
There'd be way too much hair in it, though.
Yeah, I would be.
One of John saying that Rick and Morty short looks like so much like Beavis and Butthead. Definitely. Yeah, Don, you can make a weird cartoon, man. Ha. Hawkman asks, when will Sean get a new PO box? What's wrong with his current PO box?
I don't have one. I'll be.
How are people shipping to you?
They're not. I'll be discussing that soon.
Oh no, is it bad news?
No,
Okay. Are you not doing your what's in the box anymore?
I haven't had a PO box since I moved, dude.
Oh shit, I like that show.
Yeah.
What's in the box?
Shows how much you watch my shit.
So, Jake, for those who don't know, Sean has a show where he just screams, "What's in the box?" It's a magic box. A box he gets in the mail. Whatever he gets in the mail, and then he unboxes it. It's like fan
Yeah.
mail.
Yeah,
Nice.
But I've never seen a guy so excited about what's in a box.
yeah, because people send me crazy shit because they're nuts.
What's the craziest thing you've gotten?
Panzer Dragoon Saga complete. That's a $700 fucking game.
Wow.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah,
You got an Xbox as well, right?
I got an Xbox One S in a crate with like snacks and games and all sorts of crazy stuff.
And you just closed the door on that. Like, no thank you. I don't want it anymore.
No, it's just I had stuff going on and then I never got a PO box and now something else is happening. So I'll talk about it soon.
Okay. Gadget Mike saying, no question, but just got to recommend My Hero and Gurren. I am bastardizing how to pronounce this as animes. It's in the chat if you want to see what it is. Woo! RPG, quick reaction to Starlink. You missed it, man. It's good, but it could be great. Sean loves it, though.
I love it. Yeah, I think it was very, very good.
I like it. Love it, like it, hate it, meh. I like it. Santiago, I'm surprised you still don't have a PO box. Yeah. Hey Jay, where's your PO box? I can send you a box of wine. That might be a good reason for me to actually get a PO box.
I've gotten cartons of cigarettes in mine, dude.
But I don't know. I never bothered to put one because I figured no one would want to send me stuff. But
You never know.
if you're gonna send me wine, I'm gonna create a PO box. Why don't you guys send me like weird like lamb's blood or something?
Offerings, sacrifice.
Right?
It's an actual dead goat.
Oh my god. Who knows what people would send. So what's your like day to day like, Jake, then? So do you work, your regular 5 days? Do you work 7 days?
I do, only because if I don't, I'll go insane, and also people will be calling me at times where I'm not around. So I try to just work 9 to 5 every day. Sometimes I'll just work longer because there's just like more stuff to do, and usually I try to keep it to just the weekdays and try to chill on the weekend, or else I'd be losing my shit right now trying to be on this podcast while I had stuff to do. And
you said you lived with your coworkers, so is the studio also where you live, or like do you actually have to commute somewhere?
No, I mean, so when it comes to a lot of Yotta stuff I do, pretty much all Yotta stuff I just do in my room, pretty much. Like as far as direction goes, and then when it comes to other stuff outside of the Yotta pipeline, my programmer also lives in this complex, and his apartment has a loft that I also use for kind of like more stuff beyond that. So that kind of becomes more of like the jam room where people would come over and like, work on stuff together with you type stuff. Got my tablet over there, got music stuff over there, because that's just, I don't know, it's just kind of fun.
You a composer?
I'm trying to learn. I'm really bad, but I'm trying to pick it up. It's really fun.
Oh,
but
what do you play or compose?
So I just started. I learned a bit of Ableton, a bit of FL Studio. I just from friends who use both of those programs and showed them to me, and picked up a lot from both actually. And then I just started messing around with stringed instruments. I'm really shitty at guitar, so I need to get better at that. But I've been kind of using ukulele as a bit like as kind of like a segue into that.
That's crazy. I love the ukulele.
It's so sick, actually. It's so nice to be able to like pick up. Because I mean, guitar is amazing, but it's so daunting, and like I like definitely when I started, I mean, I was having a lot of trouble hitting any chords, and ukulele is really nice because it's kind of helped me like pick up basic string, like I guess just like basic strumming competence, and like basic just like getting a whole song down and then feeling like, okay, I can do this. And I don't know, just kind of trying to just understand music as a whole. My friend also got a drum kit, so that's also in my office, quote unquote, and that's also sick. It's like a electric drum kit, so I can just like go over there and bang on that and stuff, and I don't know, music's just sweet. And then that's also where I do all the game stuff that we're working on at the moment, just prototyping and stuff.
If you ever need some guitar lessons, Sean's pretty good at it apparently.
Yeah, not too bad.
He also yells into
I'm self-taught though, so.
It sounds sick though. I would definitely take you up on that.
You should have a jamming session. Our GTA
I'm down.
You can play the skin flute.
No, I'll play the ocarina. That's all I got.
I'm really glad you have that.
Sorry?
It's good. I'm really glad you have the ocarina.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to look over and see. I don't know.
It's a little memento from Japan when I was over there.
Nice. When was it?
Japan?
Yeah.
It was great. It was a really great experience. Actually, I only got into like YouTube and vlogging after Japan. I wish I was into it before so I could have shared my experience. But I was there for 2 weeks just backpacking across Japan. And the tale of this ocarina is actually pretty cool. I was walking in a village in the mountains, and literally I was just hearing someone playing an ocarina. I didn't know it was an ocarina. I was looking through this village. I'm like walking, like it felt like a video game. It's crazy. I'm walking through this like peaceful mountain village trying to find the source of this sound. And I come up to the shop, and there's this old man by himself. There's like no door. It's just the front of the shop is open, and he's playing on his ocarina. He has like a little oven there where he's making his ocarinas too. And I just walk in, and then like we can't communicate because he can only speak Japanese. I can only speak English. I'm just like, hi, I am interested in looking at your ocarina. So he's like showing them to me, and then he hands me one, and he places my fingers on, and I've never played an instrument in my life. So I'm like, oh God. And he's trying to teach me how to go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And, you know, it's terrible. I can't even do it like right now because he was coaching me. It took him like 20 minutes to teach me how to go like. Something like that. And this guy, like, it was so embarrassing. Like, I couldn't even make the sound. It sounded more like, actually, that even made a sound, but it sounded like, you know, when you don't know how to do a wind instrument properly. And he had so much patience, and he's just like, no. He didn't even say no. I don't know. Yeah, whatever, Japanese, and like kept adjusting. And for 20 minutes, I'm like, oh, this man has wasted so much of his life into me. I need to support him. So I bought this ocarina, and I promised him I would get good, and I would send him a video when I got good. And that was 4 years ago, and I've never sent him anything because I lost his email. I did learn how to do the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the Brother song, on the ocarina, which I won't hurt your ears with today because I need to actually see the tabs. But when I see the tabs, I can play the Full Metal Alchemist song.
That's great though, man. He was just like an ocarina baker. He's just baking his ocarinas fresh and hot, ready to go.
Yeah, it's such a crazy story.
Did he give you the one freshly? Did he give you one of his freshly baked ones?
No,
no.
Ones? Well, the one I bought, so he had different size. I got this one because it was 50% off because it was cracked.
That's character.
There's like you don't even see it, but between these holes, there's like a little crack, and I think that's why I put 50% off. And maybe there's this like scuff too, but. Yeah, there's even like his insignia there. There's some writing. I don't know what that says, but it's probably his name. C5. I don't know. So that's the story of my ocarina.
Hell yeah. It's a good story.
Thanks. There were some questions I missed. What were they? Gee, I missed quite a few.
I guess the first one is what would you want to see improved on a Starlink sequel?
That was the one. I think the Toys to Life stuff limits the gameplay, though the R-Wing model is pretty great. Jade, first of all, Toys to Life, throw that out the window. It really, like, just holds the game back so much. You convert that whole system into a shop where all of that, like, excavating and upgrading that you're doing on all the planets feeds into a economic system that lets you buy and upgrade weapons versus just modding them. Then that lets you expand to have actually more weapons so that you add a whole level of like Metroidvania to the game where you have to build up enough of your economy to purchase certain upgrades to give you access to more areas. That just blows up the game to a whole other level. Right now there's like 20 enemies in the game. Like blow that up to 80. You know, create more diversity that way. So like right now what they have is good. It's a good foundation. They just need to add more depth to it all. And you're right, the Toys to Life just holds it back significantly right now. RP Space G asks if I can share any good bit about EGLX. Absolutely. Jake's going to be there. That's all you need to know. So EGLX is next weekend, which is another reason we're not going to have Class vs. Crass next Sunday because I'll be running that show. For those who don't know, it is Canada's biggest gaming convention. But seriously, if you cannot make it, I will put a link in the chat to the Twitch channel, the Enthusiast Gaming Twitch channel. All of the main stage programming that we're doing throughout the weekend is going to be broadcast on the Enthusiast Gaming Twitch channel. If you visit any of the Enthusiast Gaming sites like Destructed, Escapist, Nintendo Enthusiasts, all that, the Twitch player will be embedded there as well. And a lot of the main stage stuff is what I've been personally overseeing and working on. So you're going to be able to see all that. Some of the highlights, you're going to see some retro speed runs starting off every day, which is always a fun time. There's going to be like a Smash 4 final tournament happening on the Friday. But then the really good stuff is on Saturday. I've actually been working with Nintendo. There's going to be a Smash Brothers Ultimate tournament happening at 1 p.m. on Saturday on main stage. And it's a really fun format because we are pairing 8 pro Smash players with 8 talents. So you're going to see people like Naomi Kyle, Greg Miller from Kind of Funny, Nick Scarpino from Kind of Funny. You're going to see Rerez. Sean stepped out. I thought he would like that. Dreamcast guy. They're all going to be paired with a Smash player. It's going to be 2v2. So that's going to be a pretty fun event on main stage. Nice. If you're into Overwatch, we're announcing the first 2 members of the Toronto Overwatch team right after that Smash event. Then 3 o'clock is really interesting. We've got Destructoid versus Escapist, where I've got Lyle McDouchebag or Lyle Rath, who's going to be fighting Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation in a Dungeons and Dragons Duel of Doom, like with an improv group.
Wait, is Lyle coming?
Yeah, Lyle will be there.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know he was going. I'll have to see him.
Yeah, so that's either going to sink or swim. It's either going to be really good or really bad. It's kind of an experiment. I don't know how well it's going to go. Hopefully it goes well. Then you're going to have Kind of Funny there doing some Fortnite stuff later on Saturday. On Sunday, there's going to be an interview with God of War's gameplay director, G. Troff. So that's going to be a... Actually, sorry. Well, the interview is exclusive, but he's doing a panel on Saturday, which will not be broadcast, and that's also exclusive. So that's a pretty cool thing. What else we got? That's kind of the big stuff. Then there's going to be a play as well at 3 o'clock on the Sunday called Sword Play, which is supposed to be like one of the best video game based plays in Canada. So really curious to see that. So those are
You guys have a melee. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
A melee tournament going on that weekend too, right?
There is. So so you have like EGLX, and then you have the tournaments within EGLX. So I'm not involved with them. You have Canada Cup, which is another massive. It's one of the biggest FGC tournaments in Canada. We're expecting 1,500 people. There's already 1,000 people registered for it. That's going to be streaming on its own platforms if you are interested in following that. So yeah, EGLX is going to have a lot of good stuff.
I'm excited.
All right, let's go through some questions real quick before we wrap up. Is Studio Yotta going to do their own animated shorts, stuff based on the team's own stories, kind of like how WayForward uses contract work to fund their own franchises like Shantae?
I think definitely in time. I think it's not currently main prerogative just because right now we're really interested in not switching, but involving ourselves more in games just because there's more there. I would say, I mean, we've always kind of wanted to do animated shorts, but they're hard to monetize, and but they would be the best when we start to actually have stuff to market, because then it's like, oh cool, we can make a short, we can tell a story, and we can apply it to this other thing that we're trying to show you guys. So yeah, in time, but not for a while.
All right, and last question for the night. Jake, are you looking forward to any other upcoming Switch games other than Smash?
It's a good question. I guess the eventual Pokemon RPG, but not right now. Pretty much only Smash. I'm really obsessed with Ultimate, and I'm kind of just waiting for that to come out. I don't think I can love any other game until that's here in my hands.
Have you gotten the chance to play a demo yet? Smash
I actually haven't yet. I did have a chance, but I fucked up and I didn't take it. It was at PAX this year.
Oh, well, you'll have another.
So
it's at EGLX as well. So
nice.
As well as Pokemon Let's Go will be there as a preview.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see what that one's like. I'm really curious about that one.
All right. And we are going to wrap up tonight's show. But before we do, some things to look forward to. As I've already shared, I have EGLX coming up next week, where you can also tune in online on the Twitch stream if you want to see any of that. Sean, what is going on in RGT land?
I have no idea. We got to do, because I'm going to be out of town from Saturday to Wednesday. So there'll be some stuff up on the channel during then. There's going to be upcoming November Switch games. Maybe some more reviews. I don't know. I think I'm caught up. I really don't know. I got to figure it out tonight and tomorrow what all is going to go down this week, but there'll be something. Cool.
Jake, what can we look forward to? Actually, where can people find you if they want to connect with you more or see more of your work, or where would you like to direct people's eyeballs?
It's a good question. I'd say Twitter. I'd say either Studio Yotta on Twitter or Jake Ganz on Twitter, or I guess just our site, because we keep updating that as more stuff comes out. But yeah, stuff to look forward to. We've got two things that currently haven't been released that are eventually coming out. We've worked on a couple different show openings for different networks, so I'm looking forward to seeing those come out, because those are definitely some of our stuff that we've worked the hardest on. So really looking forward to that.
Any projects you can't talk about right now, but we should keep our eyes out? As in, is there an announcement that we should look forward to anytime soon?
Yeah, I'd say there's probably going to be something in the next month. I would bet some kind of announcement for one of the things that we've worked on. I'm guessing. I'm not connected enough to know, but I hope so, and I feel like there has to be. But
video game related?
Let me actually see. Probably not video game announcements for a bit. Probably video game related stuff more towards early next year, because we do have some video game stuff we're working on, but it looks like it's a ways off. But yeah, definitely early next year for video game stuff, and I'd say probably till the end of this year, at some point for show opening stuff,
Cool.
eventually coming out.
All right. So thank you, Jake, so much for joining us tonight and sharing your story of the studio. It's a really inspiring
Thank you for
story.
having me. It was awesome being here. Thank you guys for allowing me to do this. This is really fun and an honor, and I hope you guys had a great time as well.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to be your intro podcast. As you said before we went live, you said this is your first time on a podcast, right?
It is.
So I'm glad we
It's a
could.
great experience.
I'm glad we could be your first. You've also got a good voice for podcasting.
I do. That's good to hear. Actually, I didn't consider that, but I've just been thinking my voice has been shitty this whole time. So this is encouraging.
I meant to tell you at the beginning of the podcast before we went live that you had a good voice for podcasting. I guess I should have led with that.
That's great. I'll have to do this again sometime. Then I'm 100% down to do more. I don't know. I should try to get into podcasts more often because this is a really cool format. Streaming in general too, really exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, if you ever have any like exclusive reveals or anything you want to do, you can always send that this way. We'd be glad to reveal that with you, or just have you again as a guest sometime in the future, whatever works out for you.
Anytime you'd have me. Thank you guys so much for having me. And Sean, it was great meeting you as well.
Me too, man.
Hope you guys have an awesome night.
Yeah, same to you. And we'll see all of you viewers in 2 weeks from now. And until then, keep it classy, or as Sean would say,
Keep it crafty.
or as Jake would say, you classy or you crassy?
I think I'm crassy. I think right now I'm more crassy than classy.
Oh man,
Just can't tell.
another point for crassy. It's always crassy guests. All right, thank you.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you, chat, for being sick. It's a cool chat.